You are? Okay, good. All right. All right. So let's just settle into our meditation posture. And apart from putting us in a good position to meditate, this helps just enables us to just kind of go inward a little bit and try and get in touch with this stillness, which is good to have when we do this practice. So if your feet are on the ground rather than, you're sitting at a chair, try and have them in a parallel position, about a hip's width apart. Your sits bones are slightly raised. Particularly, it probably doesn't matter so much if you're sitting in the regular way, but if you're sitting in cross-legged position, the meditation posture, it's probably pretty necessary that your sits bones are raised. Otherwise, your sacrum is going to be kind of falling back. You'll be rounding your back. Your shoulders will be over your stomach, leaning forward, and then you kind of crush your lungs, your heart. So you want to be nice and straight. And imagine you have a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head. And just feel yourself, there's very micro mini muscles and ligaments, and just everything just stretching. Put some space in between your vertebrae. And then from the very top of the spine, very gently tip your head forward. Eyes are down. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and relax the jaw. Bring your mind to the crown of the head and release any tension there. Imagine your scalp is completely relaxing. Relax the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, the back of the head. Relax the back of the neck, the shoulders. Allow your shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and the limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes. Excuse me. Just bring the mind to the breath and noticing the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. If there are any sounds in your environment, just allow them to be there. So try not to follow them with the mind. And then notice your thoughts. What is going on today? It's likely different to what was happening yesterday. So just allow those thoughts to arise, to abide, and then without engaging, without criticizing, without really thinking, just let it go. And you'll notice it'll be replaced by new thoughts. So you just observe the mind, curious, interested, but not involved. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, your beloveds, your friends. These people, we have these folks in our life who are so important to us. And we have deep and profound relationships with some of them. And then there's people in our lives who are difficult, who irritate us, who are obstructive, who play games. We wouldn't probably want to spend a huge amount of time with them. And some people have really, really harmed us, so we stay away. Anyway, we push these people away. And then we have these strangers we don't really care about at all. I mean, we see them, think about them for a minute, and then before you know what, you move on to the next thing. It is good to remember, however, that they can change place at any time. Do you have someone very close to you now who you didn't even know in 2018? So at the very beginning steps of learning about how to develop bodhicitta, this idea of equanimity is presented in the Lamrim text as the step 1. So we start by thinking everybody's the same as us, we're all equal. And the way we're equal is our wish to be happy and our wish to be free from suffering. And then we're also equal in this, having this capacity, this potential for enlightenment. And even though it's a lot further off from some than others, it's still there. So I think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified. So this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind, so we can equally use our mind to change and create positivity instead. So this is the Vajrasattva practice and the 4 opponent powers. And the first of these is regret. So regret is not guilt. It's not the same. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And that doesn't sound kind of fun. So it makes sense that we would pull these karmic seeds out before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret our delusions, anger, attachment, and all the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And so whom can I turn to? What can I do about it? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has methods that we can use to heal ourselves, to purify ourselves. And we're not needing the Buddha to forgive us. We're not looking for a higher power to come along and take it all away. We're looking for these methods of Buddha Vajrasattva so we can purify ourselves. We're relying upon his medicine. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, and you can also imagine this is your, your teacher manifesting in this form, this particular form, for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And this lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud. This is the same as our enlightened potential, born out of our delusions, but yet untainted by them. And he has this radiant, beautiful face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, We need to rely upon other beings. So the beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing a wish for them to be free from suffering. So this is particularly, we might need to focus on those who have harmed us, because the harm they've caused us is going to manifest as suffering for them in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine doing the practice of purification. So we start with the body, and imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose or waterfall, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Sipokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Sipokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Sipokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Sipokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Sipokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Sipokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Sipokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm that you may have ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So the next is the purification of the speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking badly about others behind their backs and getting everyone to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dita Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Sipokaya Mibowa Anarakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajrama me mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe So I feel happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with this speech. So the next is a purification of the mind, and Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra. This arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room, you flick on the switch and the light instantly dispels the darkness in the room. So the same. You imagine the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart chakra and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind. So all your attachment, your anger, and sort of depression and anxiety and bitterness and grudges, disappointments, jealousy, all of this instantly dispelled with this mantra and the light. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabala mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anurakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam triyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa. Anurakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam triyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa sipokaya me boa. Anurakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So be delighted that all of our delusions, which are the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, the cause of our own suffering, imagine all of these are purified and gone and finished. And now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And you can imagine that Vajrasattva again sends light and nectar. It fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from the mind. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa. Anurakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa. Anurakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa. Anurakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa. Anurakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa. Anurakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida me boa sutokaya me boa supokaya me boa. Anurakta me boa sawa sidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So now feel you are completely purified. Not one atom of negativity is left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And so now we come to the power of resolve, the fourth step in the purification process. And it's a really crucial one, this determination that we make to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And so without this kind of decision, we have to decide we're just going to keep doing the same old stuff. So this determination, this aspiration to not harm or to refrain from harming, it becomes like a beacon that guides our body, speech, and mind in new and different directions. So as we've been doing for about a week now, let's just meditate in silence. We've got a couple of minutes. And think about something that you want to work on between now and tomorrow, whether it's a speech or something like that, that you're going to think about refraining from, or you'll catch yourself doing, like negative self-talk. Now imagine that your Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you, just kind of melts into you through your crown. And you think that my guru's body, speech, and mind, a Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, my own body, speech, and mind are the same. Now we just think a little bit about this idea of emptiness. Whatever level you understand it, however many teachings you've had on it, what you can remember, what you've heard, what you understand, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They don't exist from their own side. So just causes and conditions, dependent arisings. Then you can think also that perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created doing this purification practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment, for the sake of sentient beings, as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Lama Rinpoche. O Tup Shu Chang Xin Jam Gon Galloway, Tenzin Kyong Pelaway, Konzo Dog Porze. Dog sum kuraway leg mon to drop. Pa dog sog dulaje gondu jab ten shog. Well, I'm Ursel, Venerable One, to whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. Geshe Share, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everybody, there we are, gone again, just like a dream. So I hope you have sweet dreams tonight, lots of love, and I'll see some of you tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. Who was